Alright guys, we're back with another video. It's been a couple of years, so I thought it'd be great to update my own personal sports card collection. I think I'm gonna give you guys some content about my collection because I think a lot of the stuff that I do post is about flipping, buying, all that sort of stuff. So I think people need to know that I am a sports card collector at heart. And people ask me like, what do I PC? I actually had to write it down and think about it myself. So I PC Houston Rockets players that have played with us over the years. I try to get one autograph of each player. Alperen Sengun, Gardner Minshew. I'd say I'd PC Asian players as well, and then anyone that is pop culture, like relevant to what I want to collect, as well as my Richmond Tigers cards as well. So we're going to give you guys a little update in terms of what's in my collection. I'm not going to show every single thing that I've kind of picked up over the years. Some of that you could probably see in the video that I did 2 years ago. And I'm not going to show any of my Gardner Minshew collection because you could see that in a recent video that I did in that Gardner Minshew collection that I purchased. I don't really think that needs to be shown again. All right, so let's start off with my Sengun PC. So as a collector, when it comes to what I like to collect, I don't know if it's sort of where I was at when I was younger, where, you know, family, you know, we didn't grow up rich at all, but I've almost become like a bit of a volume collector. So I have owned some really nice Sengun cards over the years, sold them off, and people are always like, why did you sell that card? It's always been because I like volume as a collector. Now, as a flipper, as an investor, it's probably not the best way to kind of go about it, but as a collector, that's what I like to collect. I don't like having one nice card of a player that I like. I like having multiple alright cards of a player that I like. So let's go through my Sengun PC after that little spiel. So, in saying so, I still have some nicer stuff of Sengun, playing very well. Yesterday we had our first game of the season against the Thunder. We lost by a point, and Alperen looked like he's taken a step up. He looked incredible yesterday. His shooting looked good as well. So we have the Hoops rookie auto. So again, I'll have a bunch of cards here that are very low end. So we got a Core Kings. I think this is second year auto out of 49. We also have the Spectra. This one is, if I can find it, jersey numbered 28 out of 49. We have a few Optic Contenders autos. So we have this is the blue variation out of 35. Really love the Optic Contenders autos. I think this is probably the peak of what I kind of like to have for Sengun. Like, they're on card, they're just really nice designs, really nice colors as well. A neon green auto. This one is out of 99. So we do have a lot of rookie autos. We have a Spectra auto. Picked this one up quite cheaply a few months ago. I think I paid like $20 to $30 for it. We also have another variation on card autograph, PSA 9, not numbered. I mean, in terms of my collection for players, if there's like a card that I'd be willing to sell for Sengun, it'd probably be like the numbered prisms. I don't really find as a collector they appeal to me as much. If anything, I did have this little thing where I was trying to get PSA 9 red prisms of all the star Rockets players. I've got an Armin one that you'll see later on. I was trying to get a Jalen Green, but then I was kind of like, I don't know if Jalen Green's in our long-term plan, which I was right about because he's not with us anymore. So the red prism, but if there's any card I'm kind of happy to sell, probably more the numbered prisms because they don't really hold value to me as a collector. I know some people like to collect rainbows. That's not really my sort of thing. The orange Spectra out of 15 auto, really nice with the color, the orange texture as well as the orange background. The red team color match, really, really nice card out of 75. Again, another on-card autograph. Another Court Kings rookie auto. Got this one at Hobby Hangout out of 49. And then the last card that I've got here, Optic Holo on-card auto. Yeah, really cool. Still Panini sealed. I did kind of look at this one for grading. I don't think I didn't actually crack it, but I think the dimple kind of that you can see up top right, I didn't really know how that would grade, so I didn't really ever send it to grading. So we go by volume, like I was just saying. I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 11 Sengun autos, and hopefully can try and pick up some more lower end stuff again. I like volume, so I'll try to have more autos versus nicer ones. So let's go into, I guess, some of the other PC cards that I have. So let's go to the Jeremy Lin one. Jeremy Lin, I mean, people always kind of say, like, you know, Lin Sanity was incredible. I mean, what was his career? I mean, obviously you have that Lin Sanity period. I think I was year 11, year 12. So this is like 2011, 2012. And, you know, yeah, I was obviously the big Asian player kind of going crazy. And then like when Jeremy Lin went crazy, especially being, you know, where he'd come from, like, you know, playing basketball, being Asian, you were almost like trying to be like Jeremy Lin. It was like, he was just such an incredible run, especially to come out of nowhere. And to think that like social media wasn't as crazy as it is now. I mean, if a player did that nowadays, I don't even know how it would go. But I actually pulled this card. So Jeremy Lin, back Grand Reserve, 2016-17, I don't know why. I think the rookies that year, Brandon Ingram, Jaylen Brown, they didn't really have the greatest rookie seasons. So I remember 2018, 2019, I had a bit of extra tax money, ended up buying some Grand Reserve boxes. I think I paid like $100 per box. Pulled some nice cards. I pulled a Kevin Durant auto, pulled this Cornerstones auto. I mean, this card in itself is like, I think $200 to $300 plus. This is where you can find, you know, boxes quite cheaply, but the Grand Reserve is a really, really nice set. We also have this Don Russ auto. Actually bought this one for like $2 off Facebook. I don't think the person knew how much it was. Not that it mattered to me as a collector, but I think this is like a $50 to $60 card at minimum. The iconic Contenders patches set, you know, the manufactured, obviously, patches here. But this card, I always talk about this, but Jeremy Lin, since COVID, I bought this card during COVID, and a lot of card players have gone down their prices, like Giannis, you're looking at Kawhi, you know, players that have obviously gone up. But Jeremy Lin, out of a lot of players, is one market, you know, that has actually held up long term. His prices, the price of this card in 2020 compared to now is the exact same. You probably can't say that for about a lot of things. So pretty cool regardless. I mean, the Golden State variation of this does go for a bit more. So, I mean, I'm not too fussed about that. The Jeremy Lin Gala patch, I did get given a fair bit of Jeremy Lin cards at the Oz National in a trade deal I did. I'm not going to show all of that, but these are just some other ones that I just haven't shown off in a while. Gala, 3-color patch in the Lakers uniform, and then another fairly recent pickup. The Prism Choice Auto, not numbered, but Panini in their last year of their licensing, I feel like I've brought back a lot of these bigger names to sign again. So Jeremy Lin, Brandon Roy, I've noticed. Ben Wallace was another one. So I feel like they're trying to bring back a lot of these players to sign. And yeah, Jeremy Lin, now that he's got some autos in sets, I'm happy to pick them up for my own personal collection. All right, moving on to another Asian player, and probably more so a legend. I only have 2 autographs of him. And again, I wouldn't mind adding a couple more, but both rookie cards. We have the Topps Finest rookie numbered out of 999. And then we have this card. I was chasing this card for a long, long time. If you haven't heard the story about it, I might as well just tell you, since we are going through my collection, 999 as well. My very first card show, big card show that I went to, Hobby Hangout, bloke actually had this card. And at the time, he had it listed for $900, I think. And I think the actual comp of it was $850. So I was willing to, it was my first show. I really impulsively wanted to just buy this card. It was a card I've been looking out for a while. I went back to the table multiple times, and he was, actually, I think his price was $950. So the value was $850. His price is $950. I came up to $900. I was like, I really don't want to pay, you know, too much over comps for this card. And the person was just very, very firm on it. He just wanted $950. There was no wiggle room on it, even though I was already $50 above comps. And as hard as it was, I walked away from it. A good 12 months later, I ended up buying this card raw for like $400. So I'm very happy that I held out on it. But I mean, at the end of the day, it would have been a PC pickup, so you probably don't care about the value as much. But I mean, Yao Ming autos are really cool. I do want to get more. And another player I think that has been signing a bit more lately. I don't know how Topps are going to go with him. James Harden, sticker auto, doesn't have, I did pick this one up at the Oz National. Didn't sign too much when he was in the Rockets. He's another player that is signing again for Panini. A lot of autos in his Clippers and his 76ers uniform, but in his Rockets uniform, there isn't actually too many. Same with Jeremy Lin as well. There actually isn't too many, but a card I do want to kind of get is an Immaculate Patch auto of Jeremy Lin in his Houston Rockets uniform. My good mate, Joseph, had one at the Oz National, but he was not looking to sell that to me. But regardless, this is still a very cool card. Sticker auto, James Harden, doesn't sign too much in the Rockets uniform. And always got to have some of one of the greatest Houston Rockets players of all time, you know, the guy that brought us two championships when I wasn't even born in 1994 and 1995. Hakeem Olajuwon, Crown Royale on-card autograph. I started off with this one, the sticker auto. I mean, he's quite cheap. He's a top 20 player of all time, but his autos, you can find them for under $100. And then I upgraded with the Crown Royale on-card autograph. All right, so moving on to some pop culture stuff. I couldn't find the Steven Seagal one that I had, but I decided to show off 3, you know, prominent news breakers or NBA figures in the media, more so I'd say. Mike Breen, Mr. Bang, one of probably my favourite announcer. We need that guy. I think his name's Eric Collins from the Charlotte Hornets. We need him to have a card because I'd love to get one of his. We have the Woj Bomb, Adrian Wojnarowski. Woj Bomb, 15 out of 35, really cool card. Obviously, he signs for Goodwin Champions. He's not in the media anymore. He's a GM now for the college that he supports. But yeah, it doesn't obviously have too many of his Woj Bomb inscriptions, so these do trade slightly higher with the Woj Bomb inscription. And then Shams Charania, really cool card. Got this one in the Philippines, on-card autograph with a bloke that actually had a lot of these sort of cards, like the in the media, pop culture sort of people. So really cool, really cool. Hopefully can add to that a little bit more. And then the guy, not into skateboarding too much, but the guy with the greatest sports game of all time, Tony Hawk, pro skater. Tony Hawk. Leaf auto. I do like Leaf, and one of the reasons I like Leaf is because they do have a lot of pop culture autographs. I've been watching Jersey Shore lately. I've got to kind of admit that, but watching Jersey Shore lately, I kind of want to complete the whole Jersey Shore Leaf autographs that they do have out there. I got the Mike the Situation one for my wife. So, I mean, Tony Hawk, I don't know how we've gone from Tony Hawk to the Situation, but yeah, trying to just get some pop culture stuff. All right, let's go to Houston Rockets autos. I have not got every single Houston Rockets auto in here, but I'll show off. I just grabbed a few that I can kind of see. We'll start off here with former Houston Rockets, Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green, now in the Phoenix Suns. Love what DB brought to the Rockets for his 2 seasons, and, you know, it was kind of sad that we obviously had to get rid of him in the Phoenix Suns trade. We also had the Jalen Green rookie auto. I never bought too many high-end Jalen Greens. I mean, this is probably the most I spent on a Jalen Green card. I think I paid $100 for this. I just didn't see him in our long-term future, and that really hurt me because him being half Filipino, me being Filipino, seemed like a perfect match, but watching him every game for his first couple of years, I just didn't think he was going to be in our future. Unfortunately, we're going to have some random Rockets players. So Troy Daniels, sharpshooter for the Rockets, hit a key shot in the playoffs against the Trailblazers, or it was during the season, potentially, actually. Omer Ashik, we stole him from the Bulls, the poison pill contract. Key rebounder, ended up being a backup to Dwight Howard once we signed him, and he was not a happy chap about that. But Omer Ashik, it was him and Lin that we signed in that same season, in the off-season, as well as Harden. And yeah, we actually were a very exciting team. Not going to, you know, win a championship with that team, but Omer Ashik for those 2 seasons were quite fun. Got this from my man, Cooper's Cards and Collectibles, Braden, Chuck Hayes. He actually had this for $5 in his bargain box. It's actually valued at like $50, $60. Chuck Hayes doesn't sign too much, but in his Kentucky uniform, really cool card. But people aren't going to know who Chuck Hayes is. He played for the Rockets. I don't know if he played for anyone else, but had one of the ugliest free throw shots of all time. And was also like 6'4", 6'5", undersized center, but very hard to play on defensively, like in terms of him as a defender. He just was incredible for us. More of a cult figure. You're not going to know who he is unless you're a Rockets fan. Luis Scola, Aaron Brooks, and again, more players that are just cult figures. And then Chandler Parsons, my only real one-of-one of him. Really cool card. Got this again from my man, Joseph. I do have a bunch of Terrence Jones autos. We have the select jersey auto, you know, a bunch of cards here. We have the gold RPA. I used to own the 1/1 auto of Terrence Jones, and I ended up selling it to Josh Luber in the end. So sold it on eBay, got a direct offer for it, and then I looked at the address, and then the name of it was Josh Luber. So there you go. Yeah, so I ended up just keeping the golds from that collection. And then people always, you know, when they deal with me, they want to sell me this guy, Royce White. So never played a regular season minute for the Rockets. Didn't sign after his first season. Actually, I might be wrong because that's 2013-14. So that's actually second year Royce White, but didn't play for the Rockets because he had a fear of flying, had some anxiety issues. So yeah, we have the Royce White hoops. We have the Immaculate RPA. That's a cool card with the CK on-card auto. We have the Crown Royale kind of set here that I got. Inscriptions with the acetate. More of that set as well. Just a bunch of autos. And surprisingly, his cards, you're looking at like $20 to $30 per autograph because, again, he didn't sign too much. A Harden Dwight jersey patch dual patch. Yao Ming Andre Banyani, Yao Ming Luis Scola, another Rockets player Fred VanVleet. Oh, Reed Shepherd. I really don't know what the go is with Reed Shepherd. Look, it was the worst probably team for him to kind of play on in the OKC Thunder, but yeah, he has games where he looks incredible and then just games where he I just feel bad for him. I don't know. He's almost been put into that position, but he was also the third pick and he was picked ahead of Stephon Castle. So yeah, he needs to perform. And then these are all the Armin cards that I have. So Armin Thompson, I kind of wish I got more. I wish I kind of invested a bit more money into him. I just didn't. I watched his first Summer League game and I was like, this guy's incredible athletically. But then I had the exact same feeling about Jalen Green and it just never panned out. But with Armin, his rookie season was kind of slow. He showed flashes and then his second year he just popped off like really, really quickly. So kind of wish I bought, but you know, you can't always, you can't be first to it, I guess. So Armin Thompson, this is probably the nicest auto I've got of him. I've got the Optic Holo auto, so that one's at grading. If that ends up grading well, I'll probably just sell that and just keep, like, again, a lower end auto of Armin. But really cool card. Some Revolution numbered cards. We have this Shockwave. Pretty much got these for free because the collection that I bought these in have pretty much profited on. So this is free money for me. So Shockwave Revolution numbered, Revolution Liftoff. This is the Impact out of 149, Select numbered cards out of 249, the Blue Wave out of 75, the Donruss out of 49, and then I do have one of these, Red Prism Team Color Match again, PSA 9. Yeah, him and Sengun are the only sort of red prisms that I do own. So I'll give a reminder for this card. I think people, when they look at this card, they're going to be like, what is this? So when I was like 7, 8 years old at the local markets down here in Melbourne, would always go to the markets with my mum, would always try and find these 90s sports cards, and you'd have like these no-name players that would come about. But I remember this one gentleman who I bought from had a bunch of Michael Jordan, and like I thought I was going to get rich. So I think I ended up paying like $5 for this card, and I thought I was going to get rich in like 10 years time because it was a Michael Jordan card. I'd never seen it before. So when I was kind of going through my old collection, when I found it back at my parents' place, found this card, and when grading was actually quite cheap, I decided to go, you know what, this card is not worth that much. Let's send it into grading. It's key memento of my collection. If there's one card, you know, I'd never sell, it's this one, because this is kind of like one of those key memories of why I got into collecting, my thought process when I was younger, when I was, you know, buying cards. So I sent it to grading, got a PSA 6, not that I really care. I mean, yeah, I thought I was going to get rich with this card, but this is just a staple of my collection that I just never, ever will get rid of, and it's just a really cool card for me. So yeah, I think if there's one card I won't sell, it's that one. Now I have to apologize to my American viewers because we're going to go into my AFL collection. We'll start off with this card. He's now on the Gold Coast Suns, but Christian Petrarca, he actually doesn't sign like this anymore. And I mean, I don't know if this loses value because he's not in his Melbourne uniform. He is in his Vic Metro uniform, 99 out of 200. I mean, for those that I don't know. For those that don't know AFL at all, like he got traded to the Suns, and Won the Norm Smith medal in 2021. Hasn't really had the best last couple of years because he did rupture his spleen, or it was his kidneys in a tackling contest or a marking contest, which is pretty crazy. But I did play basketball growing up against Christian, and people always talk about Scott Pendlebury, and they're like, Scott Pendlebury has a basketball background. Now, I can't actually compare Scott Pendlebury to someone that was at my level of playing basketball, but I can compare Christian for sure, because he was an incredible player. I would say he was the best player I played against in basketball other than Ben Simmons and Dante Exum. And Ben Simmons and Dante Exum are in the NBA. Ben Simmons actually not at the moment. But Christian, I feel like if he really put his mind to it, he would have been in the NBL. So then when people say, Christian played, basketball when he was younger, well, how good was he at basketball? I feel like he could have been at the NBL, potentially NBA, but more so at the NBL. I think he made the right decision in focusing on the AFL because there's obviously big money there. He'd be a 7-figure player for sure there. But yeah, just a really good player, and I'm glad to see that his career has held up sports-wise. Now I need to get a Ben Simmons autograph to kind of fill that out. But yeah, just incredible there. So yeah, apologies to my American viewers because we're going to go to my AFL collection. So we have the Seth Campbell with the night celebration, as well as the backflip, just iconic card here. Picked this one up at Collect Fest. Brett Deledio. Finally have a card of Brett Deledio. Want to kind of get one of all the Richmond sort of players that we've had over the years. Lids was probably my favourite player growing up. It's unfortunate that he left right as we won the premiership. I still listen to his podcast nowadays that he has with Dill Buckley, Footy and Friends. So Lids, and then we have the iconic Richmond trio, Trent Cotchin, the gold DPS, PSA 10, Jack Rewalt DPS, PSA 9, Dustin Martin, DPS, PSA 9. I've been asked about this card to sell a fair few times. I would never sell it as well, unless it was like triple the comps, and then I would just buy the card again and regrade it. Sam Lawler, Josh Smiley. Josh Smiley didn't play a game at all this season, but their draft pick cards, at the time of recording, the draft pick signature cards have not come out yet. So they've got Lawler, Smiley, Taj Hodden, oh God, I've gone blank. Jonty Fall, Harry Armstrong, Luke Traynor. We've got a lot of draft picks, so I can't wait to buy that set and hopefully rip for myself. Alex Rand's honours, on-card autograph or signatures, because I know us Aussies say signatures for our AFL cards. The Sam Lawler Rising Star, numbered 950 out of 1,246. The Richo on-card signature from Select, Hall of Fame inductee, 103 out of 110. The Dustin Martin Select Prestige rookie, and then the draft pick of Dusty. The only card I'm missing from Dusty from his rookie year would be that draft pick die card, and some bloke came up to me at the last show at the Oz National with it, and I just couldn't buy it. I think it was like $300 to $400, and I think justifying that money on an AFL card that isn't signed, I just couldn't do it. So yeah, these are the cards I only really have of Dusty. But yeah, guys, that wraps it up for my updated video for my collection. There's a bunch in there, obviously a lot more to add, hopefully in the coming period. I hope you guys enjoyed my video. If you did, smash the like button down below, comment down below, hit the subscribe button if you guys haven't subscribed already. And yeah, guys, I'll see you on the next video. Take care.